Hello and welcome to the channel. Time to catch up with the sale results for Mathewsons Classic Car Auction for December 2025. A much smaller sale this time with just 96 cars going under the hammer. And as always, I won't be covering the full sale results and it won't be as in-depth as previous sales. I'll just be picking out the cars that I found interesting. As I've said before, the prices listed are the hammer price. So remember, the buyer's premium and VAT needed to be added back on top to work out the total. So let's make a start with lot 2. And it's a 1950 Austin Atlantic A90. And as you see, it's the rarer convertible model. Now, the Atlantic was one of the first post-war cars designed by Austin, and it was only produced between 1949 to 1952. Built specifically to tailor the needs of the North American market. And what should be remembered is that following World War II, the country's economic situation was dire, and the country was still in the export or die mode. Steel was still in short supply, and it was only being given to those who could actually generate revenue for the country. And it was quite advanced for its time because it featured hydraulic windows and power top, which was almost unheard of. And the range topping versions were offered in dualescent colours, seafoam green and desert gold, but not many metallics were actually sold in the UK. Now the fixed head coupe model, it had a unique three-piece wraparound rear screen, and it came with a trickle-bit sleeve that the centre window could be lowered into the boot for added ventilation, and it was operated by a remote winder just above the front windscreen. Now, this car, I think, looks rather well in the white with the red interior. And apparently it was imported from Australia and has been the subject of a 12-year body-off rebuild. Now, its estimate is £25,000 to £30,000. So did it find a buyer? Yes, it did. But it fell far short of its estimate, but it sold for £18,000. On to lot 16, a 1985 Nissan Prairie. Now, this is a rare survivor. And when was the last time you saw one of these? It's a one owner from new, 59,500 miles recorded, and waxed oiled in its first week of ownership, which possibly explains why it survived. The estimate, £3,000 to £4,000. And on the day, it exceeded its upper estimate, selling for an amazing £5,100. Next up is lot 28, a 1961 Mark II Ford Zodiac convertible. And doesn't it look rather splendid in its two-tone livery? A very nice and smart looking car. The estimate, £15,000 to £17,000, and it was bid to £13,000 before the auction began. And it sold for £13,000, again short of the lower estimate. But strangely enough, there were two Mark II Zodiacs in the sale. And interesting to see that the fixed head car achieved a better result, selling for £16,600, which was above its estimate of, I think it was £10,000 to £12,000. The next one up is lot 32, and it's another rarity, the Austin A35 pickup, one of just 477 built. And as I understand, there are only 91 known to have survived, which might sound quite a lot, but I think I can actually count on my hand the number that I've actually seen in the flesh. The estimate was set at 11,500 to 14,500, and the opening bid started at 11,500, and it finished at the selling price of £11,500. Lot 34. Now, this has got to have a quick mention. It's the BMW Z4, and whether you like them or not, it's immaterial because it's the estimate of £1,000 to £2,000 that jumps out at you. It's a one owner, 3-litre engine, 6-speed manual with 38,000 miles and 12 months MOT. For a car like this, seems ridiculously cheap. Well, the low estimate worked because there was plenty of interest, and it sold for £3,400, which still seems like a lot of car for the money. The next lot up is 38, and it's the 2001 Ford Puma 1.7 16-valve engine with an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000. Now, this is a nice looking car, well kept in moon dust silver, and it has just 15,500 miles recorded. So there can't be many left like this, and it appears that other people recognise how special this little car is. The bidding started at £4,600 and it finished at £5,500. On to lot 54, a rather unassuming Rover 414 SLI. And I have to say, I'm a big Rover fan. Its estimate £6,000 to £7,000, which seems rather high. However, it's got just 2,566 miles recorded, which explains the high estimate. And it may well be a near to new car, but would you want to pay that much for it? And I'm not saying it doesn't warrant it, but I'm interested to know, what do you think? The room will decide. And it did, selling for a very respectable £5,900. The next one is lot 74, a 1983 Morris 440 van in its Royal Mail livery. Estimates 9,500 to 12,500. And nice commercials usually do well. So where did this one end up? Well, it sold above estimate at £13,100. Very quickly, we're going to look at lot 86, the 2016 Chevrolet Camaro 50th anniversary model. And I like this one. I like it very much. 29,000 to 32,000 is the estimate. But on the day, the Camaro was only bid to £21,000 and it therefore still remains available. Moving on to lot 98, the 2002 Land Rover Discovery TD5. Now this one's a bit special because it's got just 256 miles from new and it shows. I mean, it doesn't take long to realise how special it is. I mean, forget the dust on the body. Just look at the chassis. It's as new. And as they say, go and find another one. It's submit best bid and it comes as no surprise that it's in demand. Already receiving 17 bids to £20,575 before the auction began. So how did it fare on the day? Well, it achieved a selling price of £25,000. Lot 104, an Arizona Gold 3-litre Ford Granada gear. And again, this one's another nice car and it's got an interesting history. I recognise the car because I watched a YouTube video about 6 months ago on this car. And the YouTube channel is called UK Barn Finds. In the video, he tells you about its history and how he acquired it. And you see him unearthing the car from its garage where it's been resting for quite some time. It's a very interesting video and it's well worth watching. And I'll include a link in the description box if you want to do so. A little over 21,000 miles recorded. This is nice. Its estimate is 21 to £25,000, which seems realistic. So how did it do? Well, it must be a record because it sold for, wait for it, £33,000. That's some result. And I'm sure the vendor must be over the moon. We're now going to take a very quick look at lot 114. It's a 1996 Audi Coupe. Rather an unusual colour, it's duck egg blue and it's got 36,000 miles. Its estimate was set at £9,000 to £11,000 and I thought this might struggle to sell, but I was wrong. It sold for just above the lower estimate at £9,100. On to lot 202, the 1997 Renault Sport Spider in that lovely colour of liquid yellow. Now, they were assembled at the Alpine factory in Dieppe and they had an aluminium chassis and a plastic composite body. It was the first ever road car to be badged as a Renault Sport. Its estimate, £25,000 to £27,500. It ended up with a provisional sale at £20,250 and it appears it wasn't sufficient to buy it and therefore remains available. The next lot up is lot 205 and it's a 2001 Peugeot 206 LX and it's another low mileage car showing just 4,900 miles, estimated at £3,500 to £4,500. It would appear it's failed to sell on the day and it still remains available. I hope you've enjoyed the video and until next time I'm going to say thanks for watching and take care.